Dolph, is that you?
Hey guys, Ken here from the Retro Toy Escapades channel, all the way out here in Malaysia. For today's video, I wanted to talk about a special tease that Ramen Toy have put up on their Facebook page a couple of days ago. Something that's got fans of Masters of the Universe all across the world excited. Now, this is on top of the already existing project of the most powerful stand in the universe, which I also talked about on the channel a couple of weeks ago. This thing's up for pre-order, special action figure stands that are designed to hold Masters of the Universe figures from Origins or Masterverse. So they've got that in production. It's ready to come out probably by Christmas. And now they've teased something else, okay, something special that's got a lot of people wondering, what exactly is this thing supposed to be. So in fact, it's a tease of a prototype that looks like a Dolph Lundgren He-Man head. Now this has been up on their Facebook page. Let's check out the image right here that they first put out a couple of days ago.
Anytime you see a picture of a He-Man face sculpt that's got longer hair in the back, you can't help but instantly just go, hey, Dolph Lundgren! That's exactly what's happening here with this prototype sculpt that Ramen has teased, even without it having to be spelled out as such. And it's a hell of a lot more pleasing on the eyes than the version that we're getting with the upcoming Masterverse figure, which seems to be almost going out of its way, like actually putting in some serious effort to be so completely disassociated with the Dolph Lundgren look.
Now look, obviously by now we know there's an issue with getting Dolph Lundgren's official head sculpt on an action figure for He-Man. All right, that's been the case since 1987 when the movie came out. Since the time that I was a kid, all these decades, nothing's changed. All right, okay, everything's still the same. They even got the man himself at Comic Con holding up the sword, saying the words. Okay, but they can't get his face on an action figure. So call it whatever you want. Licensing issues, okay, whatever it is. The point of the matter is just that we still don't have an official Dolph Lundgren head sculpt on a He-Man action figure. But that doesn't mean that there hasn't been good attempts at getting this done, right? We've seen some really good examples, and I also brought out the Laser Power He-Man from Classics a couple of years ago. Now that particular figure is a really good example of what I'm talking about. I mean, you could sell this as a live action He-Man head and I would buy it, okay? I mean, I would think that this is like something completely believable.
Now, about a day ago, Ramen Toy also teased some photos on their Facebook page of the actual sculpted prototype head on the Wave 1 Masterverse He-Man body. We can see that this sculpt is really shaping up quite nicely. Although, I was never a fan of that Wave 1 He-Man figure to begin with, as well as the original head sculpt that came with it, so this provided alternative is already feeling like a huge improvement. Ramen Toy have also shared images of the prototype head on their most powerful stand in the universe action figure stands. So what you're seeing here is sort of a collision of two of their upcoming Motu related projects together in one image.
Now, Ramen Toy have in the course of the last 1 year alone established themselves as a premium producer of third-party retro-oriented toys. It's the kind of stuff that we used to grow up with in the 1980s, the kind of stuff that we collected or wished that we could have collected, and now it's all coming back, okay, most of them, all right? Now, it seems like the big companies have not strayed away from the established properties, okay? They've stuck on with stuff like Transformers, G.I. Joe, Star Wars, but when it comes to the more obscure properties like, stuff like Visionaries, we've not heard anything about stuff like this. Okay, so Ramen Toy has been filling in the void. I've supported quite a lot of their projects to date, almost everything I think that they've announced. I brought in the 80s Commanders for a review here on the channel. Also the Quicksilver for Silverhawks, although that's not a third-party product, that's an official release. But I've also backed their upcoming projects like the Red Gullwing, aka the Mars Thunderhawk. So yeah, I mean, I do appreciate what they're doing. I love the output that they're putting out there. But now we're starting to see something a little bit more different, okay? It's no longer products that are based off extincted brands, okay? It's also products that are based off an alternative idea to an existing brand. So like recently they announced an alternative to the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider car, the failed HasLab Ghost Rider project that didn't take off because it didn't meet the required number of backers. So they're proposing an alternative, a possibly more cost-beneficial alternative to that one by Hasbro. I think that one's still in the discussion stages, but they did announce it, and it's also mentioned on their Facebook page. And then now we're seeing stuff like this alternate He-Man head, okay, an alternate Dolph Lundgren-like He-Man head. So, these are more alternatives and options for the consumer, for collectors out there, all right? Certainly something that is pretty great, in the future, perhaps, if you're collecting stuff like the Star Wars Black Series line, and you're telling me that, hey, look, you know what? They can never seem to get Harrison Ford's face right. Maybe Ramen might step in with an alternate Han Solo-like face sculpt that looks more like Harrison Ford. Stuff like that, you know what I mean? It could happen.
Anyway, guys, I'm interested in knowing your thoughts on the images that we're seeing here of the prototype sculpted He-Man head from Ramen Toy. Drop your comments below, and I'll catch you guys again real soon with more content. Take care.